It's the last European race of the season in 2019, and Ferrari are starting strong, topping all 3 practice sessions, 2 with Leclerc and 1 with Sebastian Vettel. It's looking very good to have Ferrari's first win here since 2010. Let's see the standings of the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. Just 1 week on then from the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa. We are in Italy at the Autodromo Nazil di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix, celebrating 90 years of Ferrari and its 89th race. We're at Monza. It is round number 14 of the season. After this, it's the last European race of the year before we go on to Singapore on the 22nd of September, then over to Russia, Japan, Mexico, United States, Brazil, and rounding out the season on the 1st of December. In the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads on 268 points. Valtteri Bottas on 203. Verstappen is fighting with Vettel and Leclerc over 3rd place in the title. They are getting tasty, especially after Leclerc's victory. Vettel, the only driver in the top 5 not to win a race so far this year. Looking further down, Gasly and Sainz are battling over 6th. Kvyat, Raikkonen, Albon, Norris, Ricciardo, Perez and Hülkenberg, along with Stroll and Magnussen, all battling for that top 9 positions, all getting awfully close going into the end of the season. That's then followed by Grosjean on 8 points, and Giovinazzi and Kubica on 1, and George Russell, the only driver without a point. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way, 471 points, over 100.5 clear of Ferrari, who are on 326. Red Bull as well on a class of their own on 254 in 3rd. They look like to be the top 3 teams of the year. It's still close, McLaren 4th with Toro Rosso 5th, but Toro Rosso are battling Renault at the moment, who are also battling Racing Point. Alfa and Haas are battling it out over 8th place. And the mighty have fallen, Haas going for 4th last year, struggling hold off 9th this year. And Williams, of course, just happy they've got 1 point and get some money out of the bonus boards. It's the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza, the 89th running but the 90th official Grand Prix. Welcome to the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Hello everybody and welcome up to the commentary box for the 3rd practice session report, and don't mind my biggest fan here, it's just keeping me nice and cool, but we switched it off while we do the programme. A little bit of a difference to this report today because we're going to use Twitter to catch you up on what's been happening throughout the day, and we start off with the dramatic crash that happened this morning in the FIA Formula 3 race. Alex Peroni walking away after his car coming out of the parabolica went slightly wide and launched over the official FIA bollard that they put there to stop anyone going off for track limits. His car launched off like a rocket, somersaulted 3 times, and then landed on side the catch fencing. And lucky that he wasn't injured and none of the marshals, photographers or anything were injured. Everybody remarkably okay. And it was a very strange thing. Now, we're using Twitter moments here to get the conversation in. So we'll start off at Luke Smith F1, who's an official journalist. I highly recommend him. He's a great guy in the Formula 1 paddock. Awful crash in Formula 3. Alex Peroni's car flew into the air after hitting a sausage curb at the parabolica. Car was thrown up before spinning into the fence. Just seen a replay of it on the world feed as well. New angle showing how close the marshals were. Literally, it was like that much, and that would have been a disaster as well. The safety car came out. The race finished behind the safety car, but there was nothing anybody could have done. The red flag wasn't needed. The race finished behind the safety car, but the start of Free Practice 3 was delayed. Will Buxton, we all know who Will Buxton is. Fantastic commentator. Used to be on Formula 2 and Formula 3 back in the day. Now is, of course, the F1 digital presenter. The F3 crash will, of course, reignite the gravel/asphalt runoff debate with a good reason. But we should also be aware the angle of the car landed on the barrier and the role the halo looked to have played in Peroni walking away. Absolutely, the halo definitely doing its job here today. Moving away as well, confirmation as well that the FIA sausage curb was removed at the Parabolica before the start of the third practice session of Formula 1. So the session was delayed by 10 minutes. It took them over an hour to repair the barrier and to remove that sausage curb at the last corner. And Tom Gamo as well, furious watching this incident. Sausage curbs are dangerous. They are not a deterrent. They simply cause big accidents. It is a miracle to see Pironi walking away from this. These curbs should be banned by the FIA. Simply bring back the grass and gravel, and they for the safety of all. Absolutely agree with that as well, and that we're up to date on that. So now let's talk about Formula 1 as we just grab it up here. First of all, Sky Sports F1, they're going all day live, as they're now on with David Croft and Nico Rosberg, as I watch, actually with a similar setup to my iPad, doing, I believe, #AskCrofty, so I don't know who's copying who here, but just a nice coincidence that we're up in the commentary box there, sat in what looks like outside Ferrari, having some pizza and gelato, which is very nice. We have got the official runoffs here, so we can give you the report. So let's jump in then to the third practice report. So let's start off then with the third practice report. Start off with a tweet that Formula 1 retweeted from Lando Norris. Qualifying day, but I've got the updated engine in the trunk and all the penalties that come with it. So even if I'm on pole, I'll be starting at the back. It's not bad though. I still have my new helmet on, of course. He is paying tribute to the 9-time world champion of MotoGP, Valentino Rossi. Them two seem to be becoming very close friends after he saw him at Silverstone a few weeks ago. The start then of free practice 3 was delayed while they pay repairs down at the barrier at the Parabolica and down as well, removing the sausage curb. But it was beautiful. Track temperature was at 21 degrees, air temperature at 19, no wind speed, and humidity at 61.9 degrees, so very humid out there as well. The pit exit was remain closed while the session was going to restart. It took 10 minutes for the session to restart. J.R. Hildebrand was in the paddock as well at Haas, of course, very closely linked Hildebrand with the Haas team. The pit lane exit opened and Lando Norris was the first out onto the track, but he was also the first one to put a wheel onto the grass coming out of the Dalla Rosia chicane, so not very good for him. Teamwork makes the dream work. Danny Kvyat benefiting from the tow that Pierre Gasly was giving him down the start-finish straight towards the Rettifilio. Romain Grosjean, he was the first to have his time deleted in the afternoon, a 1:22.479. He went wide at the exit of the Parabolica. That deleted the lap time, so he was put off wide. At the halfway stage, Leclerc was top from Vettel, Ricciardo, all about doing 5 or 6 laps. Of course, we only had 20 minutes of running. Valtteri Bottas decided to go for a little bit of a flying session down at Dalla Rosia chicane, jumping over the sausage curbs there. Jamie Chadwick, the W Series champion, was at Williams as well. Of course, she's waiting for her development drive that's coming up in a few weeks' time. Charles Leclerc was the second driver to have his time deleted, along with Lando Norris and Alexander Albon, for going wide at the exit of Parabolica. So they're looking, if they go over the white line, it's all 4 wheels off the track. That's what they're looking for in order to give them a deleted time. Moving on, one final push with 2 minutes to go. The two Ferraris decided to go line astern, and at the exit of the pit lane they did a practice start, and it was very good for them as well. But at the end of the session, it was Sebastian Vettel who topped for Verstappen and Bottas. Leclerc was P4, first time he's been outside the top 3 this weekend, and first time he's actually been knocked off the top step this weekend. Ricciardo was 5th, Hamilton 6th, Hülkenberg 7th, Albon 8th, Giovinazzi 9th, and Danny Kvyat rounded out the top 10 as well. But we'll be back with qualifying as well. But we have got some interesting news, because coming up at 3:15 UK time, there is a announcement from Pirelli Motorsport giving that there's going to be new tyres for the 2020 FIA Formula 2 season. They're going to go up to 18-inch, and then the concept tyres for the 2021 Formula 1 season, they're going to go up as well to 18-inch tyres. So stay tuned on Twitter for that, and we'll have news on that tomorrow morning in the pre-race show. So Sebastian Vettel tops the third practice session then on a 1:22.94. Max Verstappen is second, a 1:23.26. Valtteri Bottas is third at 1:24.03. Charles Leclerc fourth at 1:24.03, the same time as Valtteri Bottas. Unbelievable that it's very rare in Formula 1. Fifth for Danny Ricciardo at 1:25.64. Lewis Hamilton in 6th on a 1:25.95. Nico Hülkenberg is 7th on a 1:27.52. Alexander Albon is 8th on a 1:28.27. Antonio Giovinazzi 9th on 1:28.81. Danny Kvyat is 10th on 1:29.45. Carlos Sainz in 11th on a 1:29.49. Sergio Perez is 12th on 1:21.003. Pierre Gasly 13th at 1:21.073. Then that's also then followed by Lando Norris 14th at 1:21.292. Kimi Räikkönen 15th at 1:21.325. Kevin Magnussen 16th at 1:21.336. Then we get a 1:21.621 for Romain Grosjean in 17th. 18th for Lance Stroll at 1:21.639. George Russell 19th at 1:22.374. And Robert Kubica in 20th at 1:22.758. But that's all from the session here in FP3. Pretty much a bit of a interesting session in the terms of how chaotic it was. Nothing much actually came from a point of view where yesterday we had some new red flags and that lot. It was pretty much a control session. Everyone just trying to get the toe. So there we go. If you listen, just as it turned off, there was a car alarm going outside, and that's probably signaling me that I've gone on a bit too long, haven't I? But right, give us the coverage details. We'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday race preview. That will be live at 1 o'clock. Of course, we'll pre-record, but it'll go live at 1 o'clock tomorrow. The race gets underway at 2:10 tomorrow, and you can join us on Wednesday for the Grand Review podcast as well from the Italian Grand Prix. It's going to be another classic. Rain predicted. This looks to be the only dry session at the weekend for qualifying. It's going to be good. From us all here. Bye for now.